They've continued to work and grow and implement their program and are setting the foundation for what they want to get accomplished here over the next couple of seasons.
I think one of the most intriguing teams this offseason is the Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins have the capital to do whatever they want.
They're competing and building a culture.
I believe in team. I would say that. If you want to strive to do something great as a group, you got to work together.
You have a plan, you stay true to the plan, you execute the plan. The Dolphins, this is how you turn around a franchise, like this.
We're trying to build a team that's going to win right now, and we'll be very aggressive.
Welcome to the field, your Miami Dolphins.
We're looking for guys who are tough, who are smart, who are competitive, love to play.
They have landed some big fish. Love what the Miami Dolphins did. You're trying to build something there.
Fitzpatrick throws to the end zone. It is Parker. Darnold never saw the pressure coming, and he's leading. Second wide open. Touchdown.
Let's have some fun and play together, man. Win on three, win on me. 1, 2, 3, win.
If you can get a group of young men to band together, to believe in one another, to practice and prepare at a high level, then you'll win ball games.
Big man, touchdown, picked off by Bobby McCain.
Let's get it, baby.
What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we're back here with another one. And look at looky.
I'm back. What's good, homie?
I'm just out here, bro. What's good with you?
I hear you, man. Another day in paradise.
Think twice.
Fins Nations, what's good? Let's get it, man. Let's get into this.
Yeah, what's good, everyone? Let me just do a little thing here. So, guys, tonight is because this is what's been consuming the last hour before I went live. So I have set up the pay league. We are still waiting on, I believe, 4 people to put their payments through. And then we're good to go. So there's 2 spots open. So I will have the cutoff tonight, guys. If you want to join fantasy, the cutoff for the free league and the $25 league is tonight. And it's $25 US, guys, not Canadian. I had a couple of people that sent me US. They sent me Canadian. So if you want to join either one of those leagues, the $25 league or the free league, hit me up, finsidethenfl@gmail.com. Basically, what you're going to do is I'm going to send you all the instructions. We're going to send you the payouts, et cetera, et cetera. And what you're going to have to do is PayPal me the $25. We're basically pooling it together so I have it. And then we go from there. And the winners, the payouts will be discussed inside the emails. So there's 2 spots left. Guys, if you want to fill up those spots, there you go. Email finsidethenfl@gmail.com and tell me whether you want to be in the $25 or the free league. The free league more so for people who really, I guess, aren't experienced fantasy players. But that's been what's been going on the last hour and a half. I set up the league and I've been sending out emails, stuff like that. And guys, Great One DeVore is in the league. So even more of a drive to come in there and go beat me or be Great One DeVore. Ain't down with fantasy like that.
They shouldn't have any problems with the not so great one, but get in there and get you some. But that's
and
cool.
Shout out to Nico. Shout out to Nico. I think he's the only mod that's actually in the paid league. And shout out to Nico. Anybody else wants to get in? Shout out to Marcus Frazier, Alex Lee, Derek Higgins, all these guys, or Huggins, sorry, all these guys who have joined. So we got about 10 people still waiting on Andre Williams, Victor, and Alec. You'll get your payments in, guys, because I've sent you the info. As soon as you send the payments, I'll send you the link for the Yahoo, and you just join right up. So besides all that, now we got that out of the way, bro. What up, Derek Huggins? There you go. Shout out to the homie Derek Huggins showing up. Yeah, FM, I saw that. Again, my favorite safety in the NFL next to Jamal Adams can't catch a break, and he's out for the season.
Derwin James.
Yo, check it out. Come get it if you played both times. Come get in that paid league, brother. And Nico says, if Great One DeVore doesn't pick Rosen in round 1. And Rhino says, yeah, Great One's first pick will be Rosen. That's hilarious. Yeah, bad break for Derwin James. Sad, because that kid's so talented. And I'll tell y'all right now, what was I highlighting having a problem with that defense? But when we faced them, but last year that defense was not the same without Derwin James. So
is it another knee injury?
All I saw is it requires surgery in 6 to 8 months.
More than likely, it's probably another knee injury.
That's not good.
Wow. Yeah. Back-to-back years, bro. He means everything to that defense as well. That defense, when he's in that lineup and healthy, flying around, knocking the hell out of people, they are just a different team. You know what I mean? And that's a huge loss for them. So, wow. Tough break, man. Tough break.
All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over a few non-Dolphin transactions. Then we'll jump right into the Dolphin news. We'll go over everything. And then we'll drop the link and we'll open it up to some of you guys. Shout out to Ricketic. Let's give some shout out to people in the chats, bro. Shout out to Rhino Sith, Ricketic, Havoc One, Josh Fernandez, Jason Green.
What's good, fellas? Shout out to everybody.
What's good, King Mill, Nico, checking out, Derek. Yo, checking out. Hit up that email. Let's put that money where that mouth is, son. FM, Jacques, what's good? Vic,
what's good, my friend?
JB, what's good, buddy? Who else we got here? I can only go
Joe B in the house.
Jeff Fremont, Tom Brinkley, Michael Pulisic. Hope I said that right. Stevie TV, what's good, buddy? I see you all the time. What's good, homie? Carlos Madrigal, I'll see you, homie. I believe
shout out to you.
He's got to be a huge. I think he's a Rosen fan, Carlos. But shout out to you, Slim Pickens. Shout out to Hidden Leaf. Where's the homie Roadrunner at? My favorite Josh Rosen troll. El Reezy, what's good? Bubba Bedford, love the name, buddy. What's good? Todd, what's good? See you. Damien, what's good? He's Damien. Sorry, he's the other mod in the paid league. I stand corrected.
Andre Williams, what's good, homie?
Oh, Andre, show up. Yo, hit Andre. Yo, hit me up with the PayPal, bro. Create a new account. I don't have Cash App. It's not available in Canada. So if EM has Cash App, maybe you can hit him up with the $25, and that can be how you enter. But I don't have Cash App. It's not available to Canadians. Justin's Pro Football Scouting Analysis. What's good, man? Roderick. Dolphin 82. What's good, homie? We were just talking about you. Alex Lee. Where you been, D82? Foxing around. Darth Vader. And, of course, Marino's GOAT. What's good? Chef Juice in the house.
Chef, what's good, homie?
Fake Spike, brother. My jersey, which I ordered 20 minutes after the throwbacks went live. My jersey still hasn't even been shipped to me. Put that into perspective. Unbelievable. Yawabola Jaza 803. What's good, boys? Well, I'm
Jamie and Dees. What's good, homie? Brandon Hudgens. What's good, homie?
Dolphin 82 says, been working, bro. Still love y'all, fam. What's good?
I know the feeling, homie. I know the feeling.
Don't give us we don't want excuses on our results, D82. We're the Brian Flores of this ish. All right. I'm just teasing you. Guys, and let me further press y'all about hitting up and filling up spots in either the free league or the pay league. Because, guys, if these three people that and I'm talking to Andre Williams, Alec, all these people, if these guys don't come through with paying, those spots will open up. Let me show y'all this. EM already knows what's good because I showed him before I went live. I challenge all of y'all to come beat my team, and my team is too legit to quit. So I challenge each and every one of y'all to not only come out and beat
my God,
but try and beat my logo. Y'all need to beat my team logo because we're too legit to quit out here, bro. All right? So even more reason, come get it. Let's go.
Oh man, that is funny.
If you want to get in the free league, let's get in the pay league. Y'all come get it with Too Legit to Quit, ran by Reason, because I'm calling it right now. I'm going to be sweeping all of that. Andre, did you hit me up? I don't know. I haven't got your PayPal. He says he's in. But I haven't got your PayPal transfer, Andre. So hit me up.
Too legit to quit. That is
Too legit to quit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So y'all come and try to handle Reason. Too legit to quit because it's hammer time when I drop it all on y'all like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Thor of this Dolphins YouTube community. Holla at your boy. Let's go. All right?
Oh, my God. That's funny.
Yo, Slim Pickens. That's funnier, too. We all saw it, Slim.
Oh, my God.
Man, lucky the person that made that prediction or the people didn't have hotlines like Miss Cleo or they'd be out of business real quick. That's all I got to say about that. And, yo, shout out to Josh Fernandez because, yo, shout out to Fitzpatrick. He is a real one going through what he's going through and he comes back right away.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Andre says, I got you, Andre. Get it in, bro, homie.
Yeah, Fitz, you gotta take your hat off to him. I've been there, bro, so I know what that feels like to lose your mom, and that's the gut punch of all gut punches. When I lost my mom, bro, I was like out of it for like a month. You know what I mean? I took a whole month off from my old job, and yeah, man, it's tough, and I tip my hat to him, man. He's he came back, and so hopefully he can. This season will be memorable, in terms of the success of the Dolphins. We can kind of have something to even more motivation for this season. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, kudos to him, man. And it's greatly appreciated. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Tua is ready right now as we're talking. I don't know. We don't know what transpired in practice today, but Fitz is the guy, man. And, yeah, I'm just thankful and grateful to have him, to be honest with you.
Agreed, man. Like, I remember I'm a Penguins fan, right? And when we were playing the New York Rangers, I was actually out at Disney in April. We're in the playoffs. It was the round, I believe, what was it? It was either the semifinals or the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't remember. And Martin St. Louis, a winger who had come over to the New York Rangers from Tampa Bay, bro, he lost his mother like right before the series started. And she was ill. She fell really ill right before the series started. And then we got up on them. I think we got up on them 2-1. And then he lost his mother. And then, bro, they were not as talented as our team. And they came back and they went to the Stanley Cup Finals and they lost. But they came back, roared back. They beat us in 7. The players around him elevated their game because of that energy. So when you add in the death of the Dawn and now Fitzpatrick, you got that Shula patch on the jerseys this year, as well as, Fitzpatrick's mother. Hopefully that negative, that terrible energy can be, transferred into positive results. And you know what? Hopefully we see his best season of his career.
His career, yeah.
Me and you said before the draft and after the draft, and I was the first person who made that comparison. And you remember when I said it, the light went off with you. Trent Green, that name first came out of my mouth in terms of comparison. Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon. And you were like, and because we highlighted his age, I said, he was 37 when he won his MVP, right? And we're not saying this man's going to go win an MVP. All we're saying is career rejuvenations for journeymen happen. And, the familiarity under Chan Gailey's offense, this will be his sixth year under Chan Gailey, second year under Brian Flores. A lot of familiarity with the talent. This is second training camp with Preston. It's now going to be a second full season with Devontae. A bit of obviously, and here's the thing. Let's highlight this. We always highlight the structure Brian Flores implores his players to play with in their game, not just the quarterbacks, but it trickles down to the quarterbacks. And you saw it in his turnover touchdown ratio. Finished with the 8th best QBR in the NFL, even though he had 31 drops against, 5th most in the NFL. When you put all that stuff together, he also did that, and I know we've all talked about this ad nauseum, whatever platform, on whatever Spotify, YouTube, wherever, about the lack of offensive line. But think about what he can do if we get some semblance of a competent offensive line. And I know people are going to say, well, Reason, what does competent mean? Well, competent means if you're going to fall between 20 and 25th best offensive. Give me like 22, 21, 23 best offensive line in the NFL. And we might win some, then I might talk about that 8-8 or that 9-7 being more realistic, whereas I'm torn between 7-9 and 8-8 right now, right? So, if he did what he did last year, and now Preston is back, and if he performs at the level all these reports keep telling us he's performing at, add in with a competent offensive line, a clearly superior running game. I mean, me and EM back there would probably be a better running game than what we got for the first half of the season last year. And we'll get to Kalen Ballage in a moment. But at least me and EM together could have averaged about 2.5 yards instead of 1.8, and we would have taken up way less of the gap. Anyways, that said, if you add in all these things, bro, and the energy that could be around this team between the Dons passing and now the terrible tragedy that had him, because sometimes competitors, we saw Favre when his father passed away. Sometimes it just goes on, right? And they just got that fire because now they're playing for more than something for that season, right? Yeah. So, and we know he's a Christian too. He's a heavy Christian.
Yeah, he is. He is a man of faith. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, bro.
I don't understand. When we talk about Fitz and the potential season that he could have. I don't know why it's so difficult for a lot of our fan base to take that into consideration, that if, things stabilize up front in terms of the O-line, considering the season he had last year without any, with the worst rushing attack in 100-year-plus-year history of, the NFL, and also was he was the most pressured quarterback in the league last year. I don't understand why it's hard for people to really take that into consideration when we say that about he can improve upon what he did last year if everything stabilizes up front. But yet they're more inclined to entertain that scenario for Josh Rosen, but not Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't understand that.
And here's the thing, bro. If you can get production and give 10 to 12 carries to Breda and 18 to best case scenario 20 to Howard, and you get production, hovering around 28 to 30 carries between the two of them, all of a sudden he only has to, like I talked about this, I want him to, if we can run the football, he'll only have to throw the ball 20, 22 times a game.
Yeah, and also,
you know what I'm saying, and that'll go further, man. So
yeah, exactly. And then also, bro, if they can create a running game, he's not gonna have to throw the ball so much. But all of a sudden, teams have to scheme for the play action now. So even though he might not throw as much, but with the play action in play, that'll create bigger chunk yardage type plays. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that'll open things up for him. So, yeah, but again, I just don't understand why the fan base are just, they're so quick to be dismissive of the season.
Because you know what they think? Because they think we're expecting him to come out and give us 4,500 to 5,000 yards, 30 to 40 touchdowns, and when realistic, me and you are like, okay, give us 3,200 yards, 3,400 yards, give us 22 to 26 touchdowns, and go out and turn the ball over maybe 10, 11 times, and we'll be successful.
Oh, absolutely. That, in addition to an improved running game.
That's what I'm saying. On top of
an efficient offense.
I said about Howard and Brady getting 30.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got a recipe for success on offense, man. The thing is, we're not going to be a team that's out here putting up 30 to 40 points. We're going to be out here putting up, 26, 28 points, hopefully, and hoping our defense can hold these guys down to 18, 20 points, and then there you go. That this offense's success to an extent is still going to lean on our defense being improved specifically in the run, because the one thing our defense wasn't doing is putting our offense in positions consistently to be successful, right? And that's one of the things I stress might be a problem with Joe Burrow, even if they did do upgrades in Cincinnati, because of the offensive powerhouses that they'll be facing in the rest of that division. I don't think their defense is going to be putting them in a lot of positions to be successful. Anyways, that being said, and that's why, guys, we say for Tua, give us 18 to 22 touchdowns, turn the ball over 8 to 11 times, basically. Give us 28 to 3,200 yards, and that's a successful rookie season, because we can probably win with that. If I win with that, we can get a wild card spot, guys. We don't mean win the Super Bowl, but we're saying we could probably get a wild card spot with that. So, and that would be a damn fine rookie season. So just for throwing that, and that's over a 16-span game, guys. That's not over come in, start 8 games, and give us 28 to 3,200 yards, touchdowns. Anyways, so it's just all about realistic expectations, and all we're expecting is him to have that structure carry over to his game. We're not expecting this guy to come out and show you what he was showing in Tampa Bay for those first 3 games. The wheels came off, and he was throwing 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. No, we're coming out, be a game manager, don't turn the ball over, and make plays like he did to Gesicki in Foxborough last week of the season when you have to. And we'll make it work with the running game and the defensive side of the football, because it sounds like, especially the last week and a little bit, has been the defense is winning a lot more of the battles, right? So in the 11-11.
That'd be really nice, though, if he came out smoking like he did in Tampa Bay. That'd be really nice. Ooh, man.
All that said, I do believe his leash at max. I believe Fitzpatrick's leash, if Tua continues his upward trajectory, will be 2 to 5 games.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that, man.
So you better do what we're about here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Tua's just, at the end of the day, we've both talked about Fitzpatrick, and we have a lot of respect for what he accomplished last year, but we all know who his future is. We know who the better talent is. Tua just, again, he just has to get his feet underneath him and get caught up to the NFL speed of the game and get totally entrenched in that playbook. And once that happens, it'll be a no-brainer who gives the Miami Dolphins the best chance to win, in my opinion. So
right,
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Some of the big news today. The Jacksonville Jaguars released Leonard Fournette, bro. And did you see what Doug Marrone said today?
About compensation for him?
Yes, sir.
They couldn't get a 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick for him. This is almost a 1,200-yard, 80-catch back that they could not get a draft pick for. That is mind-boggling. But you remember, if you recall, remember that report came out back in, I think it was the third day of the draft. The Dolphins were dangling that same 5th-round pick that they sent to San Francisco for Matt Breida. They were offering that to Jacksonville for Leonard Fournette.
Well, because he also said we couldn't get a 5th, 6th, 7th. We couldn't get anything.
Yeah, now they couldn't. But now
you know why? It's because everyone knew you're going to come.
Exactly. They had no leverage.
And I saw a pretty funny tweet. Someone said, "Someone tell Bill O'Brien that you don't have to trade anything for Leonard Fournette. You can just sign him."
Yep. I will say this though, Leonard Fournette, the talent, and from my perspective, there's a lot of intrigue there, bro.
But is there now that Breida, Howard, and Gaskin has been specifically, it's been sounding like Howard and Gaskin have had the strong camps, right?
Yeah.
I will say this: Breida only has 1 year left.
Yeah.
We got the cap for 1 year.
Yeah. Leonard Fournette, the talent, absolutely. I would take a flyer on him because automatically he becomes your best. He becomes the best running back in that room. So, but with the investment they made in Jordan Howard as well as Matt Breida, and with the emergence, of Myles Gaskins, apparently, I don't think the Dolphins are gonna, they will make a move here. But me as a fan, absolutely, there's a high level of intrigue with this kid's talent. I mean, if you're going into the season with a 3-headed monster of him, Jordan Howard, Matt Breida, and then you have a reserve in Myles Gaskins, man, that's a good day right there.
And Laird could be battling a shoulder.
Laird as well, yeah. That's a good day right there. But I don't think the Dolphins will make this. I'd be surprised if the Dolphins win here and entertained. If they brought, I'm sure they're entertaining it, but if they actually went through and brought him in.
I think he's gonna have legitimate offers on the table, though.
Oh, definitely. I saw a report where he was headed to Seattle, but I didn't see anything else.
Everyone's sleeping on Chris Carson, eh?
Yeah.
And they brought in Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, Carlos Hyde too. That you talk about a 3-headed monster with him.
Yeah,
and those two running backs. Oh man.
But if you put him with Breida and Howard, you got a problem all of a sudden because Breida's the power back, Breida's the speed back, and basically Fournette can do both.
He can do everything. Like I said, man, if I'm the Dolphins, I would definitely entertain this because the talent is evident. You know what I mean?
So who would you entertain? Who would you entertain, Fournette or Jadeveon Clowney?
I'm me. I got to go with Clowney. I'm sorry. Again, none but respect for Leonard Fournette, the talent, but Jadeveon Clowney he wrecks games. You know what I mean? He's a natural hellraiser. Pardon my language. I just would love to have him in this defense, and I think our defense will go up a few notches. And and also you said something. We talked about this privately about Leonard Fournette, and you said, we talked earlier this morning about him, and you said, well, I don't think he would come here and accept his role. Yeah, that's something to consider as well, because I don't necessarily think because he has a mindset that he's a number one back, and which he should, and which he is. I don't necessarily think that he would be cool with that role. You know what I mean? In terms of how the Dolphins deploy their running back. Their running back. So, he's a bell cow.
Watch him go to the Patriots.
I don't want to see that, bro. I don't want to see that. But definitely, Leonard Fournette, the talent. There's a lot of intrigue for me, but I don't think at the end of the day the Dolphins go. I don't think they make this move.
Yeah, I guess the Texans would make sense, but they probably won't.
Mm-hmm.
Who else makes sense? The Chargers, because all they really have is Eckler and Joshua Kelly.
Seattle makes perfect sense.
What about who's your brother would know? Who's the number one guy in San Fran now?
It's Tevin Coleman, I believe. That's their guy.
And who has durability issues?
Well, him and Mostert. They deploy that platoon role as well.
Washington makes sense.
Washington makes perfect sense now that Geis is gone.
The Eagles could pair him with Miles Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the Bears, to an extent, would make sense because they don't have anyone really taking over.
There's a lot of teams. The Jets.
The Bucks. Who's starting for the Bucks now? Because Sean Vaughn, I heard, isn't doing that well in training camp. So, I guess the Rams, you could pair him with Cam Akers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Absolutely.
Or he could go to New Orleans and he could work with Alvin Kamara, be like the Mountain Mark Ingram, because he's similar back kind of to an extent. Mark Ingram could catch the football. He's just more of a power game than Kamara.
They've got Latavius Murray though still down there. They got him signed. Leonard Fournette's a better player than Latavius Murray.
Yeah, but Nico, who would you take, LaShawn McCoy right now or Leonard Fournette? So we'll see those. I think claims, we'll know if anyone claimed them tomorrow because claims will come through tomorrow, right? It's like 24 hours. Yeah. So we'll know tomorrow.
I wonder what. Yeah. I was going to say, I wonder what Adam Gase would do. I was going to ask what's going on with Gase and Le'Veon Bell, but we'll get to that. We're going to discuss Ballage, but I'll ask that. We'll get to that here in a minute.
Yeah, so everyone can stop. I don't know why they were, but so everyone can stop the people who were banging the table for Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan has signed a 1-year, $7.5 million deal with the New York Giants. A little bit more, too much money for me, EM. I've highlighted some of his stuff this year where he struggled, right? And we're talking about he gave up 12.3 yards per reception. He allowed a QBR of 106.9 when targeted, 5 touchdowns. He allowed 80 receptions on 114 targets, which were both most in the league. And the targets, the fact he was targeted 114 times should show how much they respected him. But the scary thing to me was he allowed 1.24 yards per average of separation. That's what scares me. Take the targets away, take the receptions away, take the QBR. It's the 1.24 average yards of separation. That's what scares me about Logan Ryan, and the fact that someone wanted to pay $7.5 million for that.
I know, right?
That's crazy to me.
I'm just glad finally he signed with the team, so we can finally put the possibility of him coming to Miami to bed. Now, you know what I mean? When I saw this, I was like, "Oh, thank God, move on." So I did not want this dude in Miami in any role. I know he put his agent kind of floated it out there that, he views himself as a safety now, more so than a corner or whatever. But for that price, definitely there's no way I would entertain bringing this player in our program for that amount of money. And but yeah, I'm just glad we can put it to bed. That possibility is done. So wishing nothing but the best.
Yeah. Never really. I never saw why people were infatuated with him to begin with, but
Yeah, man, I just don't get
it is what it is. So some roster moves today, guys. Before we get into the big one that happened not too long ago, I believe yesterday, we weren't obviously live, so we'll talk about it now. We'll talk about it after this. But the Miami Dolphins, guys, they signed Andy Jones and they waived linebacker James Crawford today. And if you're not familiar with Andy Jones, he was an undrafted free agent with the Dallas Cowboys back in 2016, I believe it was. And he has 11 career receptions for 80 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. So, camp body guys, nothing more, nothing less. I wouldn't really look into it because, again, Kirk Merritt was out today. He didn't practice, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But any thoughts there, brother?
Did you get a did you look up the profile on this kid? Like his measurables?
No, but he's 6'1". What is it? I had it up here in a second. Hold on. He's 6'1", 220 pounds. And I don't believe I looked up his 40 time. I can find you it though right now. He had a 4.5 40 after running a 4.53 and a 4.54. He comes from the University of Jacksonville.
I apologize, man. I know nothing about this kid.
Yeah, either do I. He's a camp body, man. It's a pretty general consensus, man. He's a journeyman. He's been with a different team every year, brother. So yeah. I wouldn't really expect too much. I think it's right now they need bodies to practice because Devontae's out, Merritt's continuously out. They need bodies, man, for reps, right? So let's get into something here. Guys, Kalen Ballage, I said it on Twitter and I'll say it here. Kalen Ballage at least managed to stay traded for longer than 1.8 days, but not that much longer because Kalen Ballage ended up failing a physical and he's been reverted back to us. And by the looks and sounds of it, we're just going to be releasing him. So we went for getting a 7th for Kalen Ballage, and the Jacksonville Jaguars getting nothing for a former top 5 pick in Leonard Fournette to Kalen Ballage ended up showing up and being Kalen Ballage even for his physical. And I'm sure he only got about 1.8% of the way through his physical. They said, "You're out of here, kid." And then he had to drive 1.8 miles back to the airport where he had to fly for 1.8 hours back to Miami. And I hope he's hanging his head in shame for 1.8 centuries because Ballage, you've gone from not even being able to get 2 yards on the football field to now you can't even pass a physical. And I kept hearing from my respected partner here about how great of an athlete you are. And it looks like you couldn't what kind of athlete can't pass a physical? That's all I got to say, Kalen. So, Kalen, I hope you
my God.
My don't unpack your bags just yet because me and EM are rolling through with that bus, and we're going to make sure you're sitting front row and center, brother, out of town, okay?
No. The front row seat is reserved for somebody else. And we both know who that is. Not the front seat. Not the front seat. But he can have any other seat on the bus except the front. So but yeah, man. That's funny. Listen, yeah, I knew, well, going into training camp, I felt like our staff would give him, another opportunity, probably midway through camp, when we discussed this some weeks back. And yeah, I think they just got a look at him and, he's just not, I'll say this. when you bring in a higher end talent like a Howard.
Peep the screen for 1 second. Hold on a sec. Peep the screen, okay? You looking?
Mm-hmm. TD moving with Ballage. Wow. Oh my God, bro.
Anyways, continue.
Wow. Yeah, he loves Ballage, huh?
Yeah, bro. Not only has his boy Ballage been shipped out, but his one-day declaration of Josh Rosen was going to be the starter on his way to Canton getting that yellow jacket after 1 day of practice didn't work out either. Bro, this man is out here striking out like a minor league player in a major league game. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Joe Levesque said you should be able to receive a handoff and fall forward for 2 yards.
Yeah.
Havoc says, Kalen, have you seen the benefit package available at Wingstop?
Yeah. It's Kalen Ballage now is his Wingstop guy. Because it won't be Mack Hollins, homie. Trust me on that one. Well, we'll get to them shortly. But yeah, man, it's just time to move on. You have, you bring in a talent like Howard, Breida, and then according to the reports, how Myles Gaskin has improved significantly. He would have to come in and just light the training camp up, and clearly he wasn't doing that. And just time to cut bait.
What's up, QB Film? What's good, Brian? Hope you're having a good night, brother.
Brian, what's good? Shout out to you, homie.
Yeah, guys, go follow Brian Trulin from QB Film Room. He does great stuff. We've had him on the show a couple of times, and I'm sure we'll be having him on the show after
absolutely.
Whatever happens with Rosen, and if Tua starts to take over.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's time to move on from Kalen Ballage. I'm not going to say I told y'all so, but I kind of told y'all so before training camp started. I don't know what to say, but I mean, the guy can't. Thank God they didn't give him 2 physicals, because then he would have only passed 1.8 of them.
Wow.
So
killing that dude, bro. Killing him.
Bro,
man.
I agree with what Joe Levesque said. You should be able to fall forward and pick up 2 yards, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what the coup de grace was when Bobby McCain blew him up. And, when he blew him up. Remember that report that came out last week? Bobby McCain blew him up.
Remember, we were calling.
We knew the writing was on the wall at that point. It was just a matter of time.
Funny because I think it was me, you, Havoc, and Rhino were calling him out for that. We were like, yo, if you get blown up by Kalen Ballage, what does that say about where your career is right now?
I know, right?
And the man gets cut like 4 or 5 days later. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Peace, hope, wish nothing but the best for you, young man, but we don't have to holler at you, man.
Time to move on. All right. So, here we go. So there's only a few notes from today, and it's quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick returned to the Dolphins 2 days after learning of the passing of his mother. Fitzpatrick left the field before Saturday's scrimmage after learning of his mother's death. Flores did not offer a timetable on the return of receiver Devontae Parker, who's nursing a minor issue today. He said he's working every day to get back out there. When you're out a couple of days, you don't want to lose anything from a conditioning standpoint. He's built up a good amount, so hopefully he can get right back up to where he was. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, here you go, signed veteran Andy Jones, who previously spent time on the practice squad. Jones' regular season NFL body of work includes 11 catches, 8 yards, 1 touchdown, all in 2018. He has played 10 of his 11 career games with Detroit and the other with Houston. He was also in Dallas as well. That's who signed him as undrafted free agent. Flores left open the possibility of cornerback Xavier Howard being available for the opener. Xavier coming off a knee, pup conditioning, is working the fundamentals and technique. And he did highlight today, if you guys watched the Zoom, he said, he highlighted the hand placement and things everyone takes for granted and everyone thinks just happens. You got to get back in that rhythm, right? He needs to work on those, and he has been. work against the receiver, work with teammates on the communication. A lot of people take those things for granted. See, he said it again here. He doesn't. He's working diligently to get those reps. He's talked about it. He's anxious to get in there because he knows he needs them. If we feel like he's ready to go week 1, we'll let him go. If we feel like he's not, we'll make the decision when he gets to that point. On Saturday's scrimmage, and this is what Flores said, he highlighted how Matt Hack and Jason Sanders kicked the ball well because Sanders had a couple really deep field goals. He said offensively, from an offensive line standpoint, we made a few moves. We played rookie offensive lineman Robert Hunt and Solomon Kinley with different guys. Good to get Hunt up there with some different players. I thought he played well. I thought the line as a whole played well. The quarterbacks played well, he said, of Tua and Josh Rosen. They made some good decisions and some not so good decisions. He said defensively, communication issues was the biggest problem. A couple of situations had the wrong amount of people on the field. Got to get that cleaned up. He said he thought conditioning is okay. Still got a long way to go. So, a couple more things here.
Question is, oh my bad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say in regards to Xavier Howard. That's very good to hear. That's very good news to hear. But the question is, do you start him?
Yes, sir. He's so talented. Why could you not? The guy's a game breaker, bro. When he's healthy and he's on his game, he's a game breaker.
I agree. And
I'm going to have him up against a number 2. Let's go. And you know what? Let's be honest. That number 2 that he's going up again, guess what, EM? Yeah, Howard's missed some practice time, but that wide receiver, he's got about as many preseason game reps as Xavier Howard does. So let's go.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm glad to hear that.
It's good positive because we can start to see this secondary, what we got on our hands a little bit.
And if we have him and Byron Jones starting, if he, is healthy and returns to form, and then you can have fallback options with Needham and Noah Igbenogany, considering the camp that he's had.
And it sounds like Jamal Perry's had a good camp too.
Jamal Perry as well. Oh, man. It's a deep secondary. Very deep.
Hopefully McCain, his play in practice has – because since his birthday, he's come on. If people do the homework, it was his birthday when he started coming on with that interception. And since his birthday, if he can translate that into real-time, real live-action production, then we might have – because Rowe has been playing well too from what we've been hearing. So our secondary might be really, really good, man.
You know what? I'm we all know how I feel about Bobby McCain. I'm not the biggest Bobby McCain fan, but hopefully he proves me wrong. So, that secondary is shaping up real nice. If we can just get everyone healthy, I think I'm convinced that we'll be able to match up with pretty much any teams in the league from a secondary standpoint.
Especially in our division.
Oh,
so let's keep it rolling here. Asked good-naturedly about the fact that Flores always seems to be smiling when cameras catch him looking at rookie defensive tackle Raekwon Davis. Flores said, I don't know if Raekwon would say that. You might want to ask him if I'm always smiling at him. It's a good picture. I'm not sure Raekwon feels I look at him with that much admiration on a daily basis or any of the rookies do, to be honest with you. So it's good to see he's being tough, but he's getting production out of Raekwon, so it is what it is. He just talked about his second year with the team and the relationships revolving and also building relationships with rookies. But here was something that was very intriguing, bro. He was actually specifically asked about snapping and if there's an emergency snapper. Your homie, Mack Hollins. Mack Hollins is not only probably the 6th receiver on the depth chart, and also a special teams contributor, but it seems he's also the long snapper if they need it, bro.
The homie. Hey, that's how Flores, how this staff prioritizes versatility. The more you can help, more things you can do to help the team, that increases your chances of being on this roster. And this is just another talent that he has, apparently, and this is going a long way to ensuring his roster spot. So I think a lot of people out there in Dolphin land, led by Benedict Havoc himself, Y'all are going to be owing this young man a huge, huge apology for all of those Wingstop references and Buffalo Wild Wings, whatever Habit came up with, saying, well, this kid is going to be working after he was cut. So so my prediction about this kid making the 53-man roster, it's not looking so bad at this point. So we still have time.
Bro, you didn't know he was a long snapper. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
Hey, you're absolutely right. I didn't know he was a long snapper. But again, when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay.
But this guy's just found out any way he can to cling on to a roster.
I don't, like you said a minute ago, I hate to say I told you so, but God damn it, I told you so. So shout out to the homie Matt. You know I've been riding with you from day one, and I'm going to continue to ride for you. I hope you make the team, and if he does, I'm not saying this kid will have a big role, a big impact, but he can be this year's version of Allen Hurns. Why can't he be? Just reliable. He's a more athletic version of Allen Hurns. Why can't he be? Why can't he fulfill that role within this offense? I don't understand that. So we'll see. But y'all are going to owe him a huge apology, including you. So we'll see.
I never denied that 6'4", 221. I never denied, especially at his speed, that he runs at for that size. I never denied his athletic ability. I said his ability to stay healthy for 16 games.
You're right. You're right.
Like I said to you, and you kind of laughed it off earlier when we talked privately, this man could get breathed on the opening kickoff. And All right.
Yeah, if you sneeze on him directly, he's going on IR for 6 weeks. He's proven that. So hopefully some of what Devontae Parker's regimen, what he did last year.
Nice to see that's what our depth depends on, though. Jesus, that's where we're at.
Again, hopefully some of what Devontae Parker did last year to ensure his 16-game season, hopefully some of that will rub off on him. So, yeah, man, but I'm just saying, man. I just
at least he's also the best. He's probably got some of the best hair in the NFL right now, too.
I also saw an article where he's, they reference his size. He can even be like the fourth or fifth, the fourth tight end, emergency tight end. It's because he's big enough. This kid is massive, bro.
What is this guy? When's he going to replace Rosen as the number 3 quarterback? That's my real question. All right. So here's an update today from the 20 minutes of practice. Because, guys, there is an immediate availability kind of blackout. They're only allowing media in for the first 20 minutes of practice, and then they're basically booting them out. So here's what they saw. Devontae Parker, Kirk Merritt, and Jakeem Grant did not practice. Parker and Grant were in attendance, but Merritt was not. And me and EM, we'll talk about that in a second, EM, after we finish these little updates, because we did talk about that privately. Also not practicing was Jonathan Hubbard, the offensive tackle, the UDFA. Fitzpatrick was the first on the practice field, warming up with the staff. Love to see it. Just getting your mind out there, getting it on football to get it off of real-world worries, for even if it's only for a couple hours. Love to see it, Fitz. Wishing nothing but the best. Linebacker Kyle Van Noy is dressed and practicing after dealing with an upper body injury last week, which, again, it's a hand injury, guys. We've highlighted that. Byron Jones was working with a trainer near the exercise bikes during individual drills. Patrick Laird is in a red jersey but participating. And there you go. Andy Jones was at practice today because he was a practice squad call-up technically, and he was wearing number 8. But let's talk about this for a sec, EM. Kirk Merritt. I find it interesting, and I agree with King Mill. It's not good for Kirk Merritt because he needs those reps, but especially with no preseason. But can I pitch this to you? And I hate to put out a conspiracy. Isn't it interesting to you that I believe this is now his fourth or fifth practice in a row he's missed? It's his 4th or 5th, and they haven't cut bait with him when they've already proven they're willing to cut bait with injured players and, let's be honest, unproductive players, because that's what the rumors were about Weaver before. So what does this tell you about Kirk Merritt? Does it talk about the lack of depth at the position And or does it talk to this? And I'll pitch this to you, and I'll pitch this to everyone in the comments. Guys, think about this. If y'all do the timeline, again, you'll hear me keep saying this about training camp. If you guys do the timeline, before Fitzpatrick left for the first time, not when his mother died, but obviously when he found out his mother was not going to make it and he had to go visit her, for 2 or 3 days straight before that, Kirk Merritt was popping up in these training camp reports on the end of Tua Tagovailoa passes. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, that day happens where Rosen and Tua took over 11-11s for the first time. And then a day or two later, Kirk Merritt popped up on the injury report, and he's been there ever since. So I ask you this, EM. In those first 4 or 5 days before he went down, and he's missed the next, I think he was playing for 6-7 days, I guess. And then he's missed 4 or 5 since. So do you think he must have shown them at least something in the first set of days before he went down if he's not even out there on the field? And, we would be expecting for UDFA if they're not even out on the field on the 4th or 5th straight missed practice that night at 6-7 o'clock it's going to come across the waiver wire that they've been put on waivers.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what he's shown them in terms of him being on the field, but one thing I can say 100% is that they're aware of just how athletic this kid is, and just the coaches by I don't care at what level, high school, Pop Warner, collegiate, and the NFL. Generally, the players that are more athletic, coaches are willing to, give more of a big investment in. And this kid's athleticism is off the charts. And we talked about this since we signed him as a UDFA.
He's a freak.
And, I can't because there's been reports about him flashing with Tua and, him in particular, him burning Nick Needham. I think it was the second day of practice, I think. Smoked him. So, again, I don't know exactly what he has shown on the field, but off the field, this kid's ability is undeniable. And, again, I can clearly – I would really like to know what the injury – what's the injury that's preventing him from getting on the field. It's 5 practices now. That's concerning. But I will say this. Because of this kid's, freakish athletic ability, I can see Flores, even though he got hurt, okay? And it's not like they invested a first-round pick on him where, those first-round picks are you push them to get, you want to get them on the field as soon as possible, because of their draft status. This kid was an undrafted guy. They could take the approach they took with Needham last year. They didn't cut – they cut Needham, but they put him on a practice squad, okay? Because they did not want to let him go. They wanted to further their investment. I think if they cut him, they're going to lose him. No. They can protect him, though. I mean, I thought
you meant put him on waivers.
No. If they put him on a practice squad, they can protect him. And I can see Flores, even though he's hurt and he hasn't given him much in terms of.
Oh, you're talking about when the cuts come down. I get what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, you're saying because, guys, we will be live Saturday after they have it. We've already talked about it privately. Be prepared. Saturday, some major cuts will be coming across the league, and Reason and EM will be live covering the Dolphins as well as any other major cuts. Mm-hmm. But that's what EM's basically saying. They're probably holding out till cut day when they can just translate them over and protect them on the practice squad.
And, so
we have about 80 players right now, NYC.
Because I think it'd be extremely difficult for him to make the team now, and he's missed 5 practices. That'd be a shocker. But I could see him being placed on a practice squad and then protecting him. Again, like I said this from when training camp started, my biggest disappointment, of training camp would be if we lose this kid. If we cut him, somebody picks him up, or we just cut him outright and just let him go sign with another team. We put him on a practice squad. We don't protect him, and other team poaches him. That would be my biggest disappointment of this 2020 training camp because of this kid's athleticism. Because you have to find a spot for this kid because you don't see athletes like that come along every day. So I can see Flores, even if he doesn't make the 53, I can see them placing him on, more willing to further the investment because of the freakish athleticism. They'll put him on a practice squad and they'll just protect him. Just keep him there, bring him along, let him get healthy, and kind of, if he improves, over the course of the season, you can always activate him and then put him in a package here and there over stretches of games. So
just get his route trees down.
Exactly.
Crisping out his route running, because one of the problems he did have was he rounded out some of his routes. Get those down a little bit.
Exactly.
And yeah, man, learn the playbook. That's all you need. And there you go. Shout out to Mr. Ballgame. Yo, check your text, homie. I sent you the StreamYard link if you want to join. We are going to drop it in a bit, guys, here. We are weak at the position, so they are hiding him right now. It's obvious.
Yeah, man. So I don't think Flores is going to just for Christ's sake, they gave Kalen Ballage 2 years. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
how quickly EM has turned.
They gave Kalen Ballage 2 years. So my God, this kid, he's worth, just 1 year, I would say. So man, come on. So yeah, I just think that's what's going on. But I really would like to know the nature of his injury. 5 practices.
We won't know. We won't even know until the reason why we know Kyle Van Noy's, which keeps getting referred to as an upper body injury, is because it was highlighted that he was holding his hand during the reports, right? But guys, there's 117 in the room. Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
If you haven't, get those likes up. I challenge all of y'all watching now and watching later. Let's get this past 150 likes, guys. And also, if you're new here, subscribe if you haven't. We're steadily rising, guys. We are now at, and I will give you guys the count. We are at 1,169 subscribers. So we're 1 subscriber away from 1,170. Who's going to be 1,170? If you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, hit that subscription button, that red bar, and let us know right now.
I see Ballgame. He's gonna ride that Jerome Baker. He's still riding that Jerome Baker train.
Guys, if you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Phinside. If you want to become a Patreon, patreon.com/Phinside the NFL. And as usual, we're going to shout out all of our Patreons. And we always start with the inaugural ones. And of course, that's Rhino Sith. And of course, Infinite Trauma. And then we got, of course, the homies, Mr. Two Bits, Fake Spike 94, Joe B, Shake Money, Ramon Casillas, Seth,
shout out to you, homie,
KA All Day, and shout out to all of you guys who even just hit the like button. But shout out to our Patreons. Keep using those levels. And guys, again, if you want to join Phinside the NFL Fantasy, we got 3 pending. Okay, payment. They've agreed to be in. I've sent them the info. We're waiting on payment. And that means we only have 2 spots left open in the $25 league. So email me, phinsidethenfl@gmail.com. The league is open. You tell them you said PayPal us their buy-in, and we'll send you the link to join the league. It's as simple as that. And we also got a free league if you guys want to join. So if you want to join both, hit us up. First come, first serve on those 2 spots remaining in the pay league. But let us know in the email whether you want to be in the free league, the $25 league, or both. All right, guys? And again, can't stress enough. Smash that like button. Let's get to 150.
Absolutely.
Let's get to 150 likes. And let's keep it moving here. Shout out to Vicken, who just showed up too, I believe. I hadn't seen him yet. Let's keep it moving here. So a little bit more from the Miami Herald today, bro. It said a little 6-pack of Dolphin nuggets from Barry Jackson. It says several Dolphin regimes over the past 12 years have done a good work of unearthing undrafted rookie contributors, from Devontae Best to Dan Carpenter to Preston Williams. This could be the year that all those efforts fall short. Faced with roster limitations, the Dolphins signed a smaller group of undrafted players than usual immediately after the draft, 10 players in all. Only 6 of those 10 are still on the roster. Ray Lima retired. Nick Kaltmeyer, tight end Bryce Stark, and center Donnell Stanley were released. Hopefully they put Donnell to the practice squad because that guards center versatility. We always have problems with injuries in the interior. And of those 6 remaining undrafted rookies, there's no clear path for any to make the 53, though defensive tackle Benito Jones cannot be ruled out. Even if any sneaks on the 53, it seems doubtful any will make an impact that Williams did last year when he becomes Miami's second best receiver. Miami in the past month added 4 other undrafted rookies: Salvon Ahmed, the running back; Demarius Davis, the cornerback; Nate Weeding, the Iowa tight end, who's caught a few touchdown passes from Rosen and Tua Tagovailoa, and also Auburn rookie safety Jeremiah Denson. So obviously it's already so hard for UDFAs to make the roster as is, let alone coming in the middle of a pandemic. It says right here, receiver Matt Cole has flash, tantalizing speed, but he's more likely to be stashed on the practice squad, which has been expanded from 10 to 16. Kirk Merritt, who arrived here with higher expectations after putting up big numbers at Arkansas State, didn't do much of note early in camp and has missed the last week with a hamstring injury. Jonathan Hubbard appears behind Adam Pankey. That's not good. In a spot for the bottom of the roster. Tyshawn Render likely hasn't done enough to stick with the 53. Benito Jones, to the naked eye, hasn't made many plays as many as veteran Zach Seiler in the competition for a final defensive tackle job. Kylan Johnson is a long shot. So they're just highlighting here that it's not looking good for a lot of the UDFAs that we brought in because it talks about here about how collegefootballnews.com rated top 30 players who went undrafted, and the Dolphins brought in 3 of them: Benito Jones, Auburn defensive end Nick Coe, and we brought in Salvon Ahmed, right? So, it's not really working out this year in the UDFA pool, it seems, to the naked eye, they said. So it does seem like Clayton Fledglam has stepped up and is assuming that role of the gunner, and he's been making plays and getting more comfortable as a safety. Defensive tackle Christian Wilkins was asked how Brian Flores changed in year 2. He said it's weird. You can see growth with players and you can see growth with the coach going from year 1 to year 2. I'm not saying he was a bad coach or anything last year or had many flaws or anything, but you could see growth, and it's good to see that, and just his confidence in everything. He's a great leader for us to follow. You can tell that he really wants the best for us as men on and off the field, so that's great. I feel like we have all more respect for him ultimately as a man, person, and as a coach. It says the competition for one open starting spot on the right side of the offensive line, Saul McKinley against Robert Hunt, remains unresolved. So we did pretty well getting the right guys in there, and those guys have been competing. Wilkins said of Hunt and Kinley, they both have great potential. If they keep their head on straight and narrow, they'll be pretty good in this league. So pretty high praise, right? Not too bad. And again, it talks about how Fitzpatrick was back to practice on Monday, and he's scheduled to do a question and answer session with select season ticket holders this week. So Fitzpatrick getting right back into the thick of things. Like, I mean, what else can you say about that man?
Yeah. That's our quarterback for now. We're lucky to have him, man. A presence like him, not only on the field but in that locker room as well. You know what I mean? Because it's his locker room. It'll be Tua's eventually. It's just a matter of time. But Fitz, every player, coach, janitor, they all have immense respect for him, and they all talk about how good of a man he is. And, I think we're lucky to have him in the organization as a whole, not only as the quarterback. But, man, it's my hat goes off to him, man. Definitely my hat goes off to him.
So any takeaways from any of those Nuggets, EM?
Yeah, the UDFAs, man, we knew it would be, coming into this once this COVID-19 hit and we saw the impact that it had on, the NFL, not only the NFL, but all sports in general. Things were this was going to be, it's going to be different on so many levels. And, any normal year, it's an uphill climb for a player of UDFA status. So we anticipated it being an uphill climb for all of these players. But again, I'm glad the NFL allowed, the increase in terms of the practice squad roster. And, I think the two players that I must have, we talked about this. We talked about Kirk Merritt, but also Benito Jones, because I think those two players have big time ability. They can be significant contributors to our team. Maybe not this year, but the year after and the year after that. So, it's tough, on these UDFAs again, but, I'm just glad that the NFL has implemented that, a system to where they can protect certain players. And, but yeah, it's nothing, we didn't anticipate, we didn't already know, about the, how much of an uphill climb would be for them. So, but yeah, those two players I must have, Benito and
Ball games in the comment, and he says he loves the idea of Fournette joining us because you need two quality power backs. Howard can't get all the reps, and Breda's a third down back.
Oh yeah, I told you, I'm the Leonard Fournette, the player. There's a ton of intrigue from me. I mean, I would definitely entertain him. He automatically will be the best player. Arguably, next to Devon. Well, I'm not going to even say that, but he would definitely be the best running back if we were to bring him in. Clearly, it'd be no question. So, and then that three-headed monster of him, Howard, and Breida. Oh my God, you're kidding me? Wow, that is. You're doing something right if you can open the door, and you peek in your running back room, and you see them three players in there, sitting at the table, bro. So I don't think the Dolphins will seriously entertain him because of the investments they made, in free agency. But I would really, 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 I would not be upset if they did bring him in, bring him into the fold. So, but we'll see how. I'm going to be paying close attention. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to hold my breath. At the end of the day, I don't think the Dolphins will go here, but I would love it if they did. I really would. That would be, that three-headed monster. So
let's talk, guys. We're dropping the link right now. Give you guys some time to join.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, what?
Well, I was going to say about Kinley and Robert Hunt. You see, that's good to hear. Robert Hunt improving. You know what I mean? Getting his feet underneath him. Kinley has just been steady, which is what you want from your rookie, especially from a rookie. Just giving you that steady production, consistent production, and hopefully that translates to the season. But it's very good to hear Robert Hunt is starting to catch up to speed, and you see the gradual improvement in his game. So even if he doesn't wind up it might be a little too late in the game for him to supplant Jesse Davis in that starting lineup. But again, if he winds up being the backup, that's quality depth we have here with him. So, it's a lot of positives.
I was going to ask you a question, but now I forgot because we went off the tangent there. What's good, boys?
Yo, gentlemen.
What's good, fellas? How's it going?
Gentlemen.
What's
good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if we're interested in Fournette. We were actually thinking about trading for him before.
Yeah.
We talked about how we offered them a fifth, right?
Yeah.
They wanted a higher than that, so.
I can say this. There's intrigue. There's a level of interest there from the Dolphins. But
the problem is where they are on the waiver wire in terms of claim. I don't know where we are in claim status right now.
Fifth, right? Is it fifth?
Are we?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm assuming.
It goes by last year's record, I think.
So the 4 teams ahead of us, Cincinnati.
They got Mixon.
Washington.
Washington. Yeah.
Washington could use them. Detroit doesn't need him because they got Kerryon Johnson back to go with DeAndre Swift. Giants don't need him because of Saquon.
So one team ahead of us, maybe.
Washington would make sense.
And the $4.4 million for this year doesn't scare you guys at all?
He's in the last year of his contract, though.
Yeah. We got $26 million.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, were you surprised about the Yannick trade to Minnesota where he actually gave up money and is only taking 30?
Man, I'm not surprised.
Bad, eh?
I'm not surprised anyone giving up money to get out of Jacksonville right now. I mean, talk about a dumpster fire.
No, but
anyone with their salt. either wants to leave or they've traded away. Calais Campbell,
Right.
Jaylen, Ramsey. I mean, it's literally a Pro Bowl team of players they have drafted and traded or just let walk out the door the past 5 years.
It's nuts.
Yeah, but they give up $4 million, then you're going to a state with state tax to add on top of that.
That's a good spot. That's a good spot for him. That's it, on so many levels. You know, you're playing with another Pro Bowl defensive end.
Yeah, they're nasty.
It's an ideal scheme fit. Ideal. And I think he looked at everything in its totality. He was like, well, you know, it's an established playoff team. And he's like, well, I'll sacrifice, you know, some money on the front end. And because that's a good situation for him. Oh, him and Hunter coming off those edges. Ooh.
And they only gave up a second-round pick and a conditional fifth.
Yeah.
Even though Minnesota just traded Everson Griffin to Dallas.
Yeah.
So he just slides right in.
And you know they signed Michael Pierce as well.
Okay.
In the offseason.
Minnesota's trying to do something here.
Absolutely.
You know, at least while they still got Thielen, they still got
check this out.
Kirk Cousins.
The Jaguars' first round picks from 2012 to 2017. Justin Blackmon, we all know what happened to him, the receiver. Luke Joeckel, the tackle. Blake Bortles.
Oh, mega bust.
Dante Fowler, who's good, but he's just not there.
Yeah.
He's consistent. He's consistent.
Yeah.
Jaylen Ramsey and Leonard Fournette.
I mean, one of those guys is an all-pro.
Yeah.
One of those guys is an all-pro. I know that much. And they traded him they traded him at his peak too. Like, while he's right now easily top 5, not even a question, Jaylen Ramsey. So if
you go back to 2011, you can add Blaine Gabbert to the list.
I mean, you want to talk about this culture out here in Jacksonville. I mean, apparently they were trying to play that Tom Coughlin my way or the highway, and that did not jive up because they had an amazing opportunity with their defense to do something, and they
traded Calais
down the toilet.
And they traded Calais Campbell too.
They got rid of AJ Bouye as well.
Yeah,
another talented
My
player.
goodness.
Taken for Trevor, boys.
Yeah, and they're not even trying to conceal it either.
Yeah, and thanks. And of all the teams you sent Calais Campbell to, you sent him to Baltimore. Thanks very much.
But you know what I want to hear in terms of the tanking? I want the media to give them everything that they gave us last year when they thought we were tanking.
But they have Minshew. But they have
Steve
Minshew.
Young. Everyone's calling out Steve Young today and saying you better, because remember how badly he called us out.
Oh my God! Him, Dominique Foxworth,
Stephen A. Smith was out there calling us a college team.
No, absolutely.
No, man, I live in Jacksonville. You should hear Sports Talk Radio on the way home. You want to talk about a bunch of mad fans?
Are they mad about Fournette? Are they mad about Fournette more than they were about Ramsey?
No, they're just mad about everything in general with Yannick going, Fournette, Ramsey, everything. They're just like, we don't even see the direction of the team where they're heading.
Heading to the number 1 pick.
Yeah, they're going for Trevor Fields or Trey Lance, bro. That's what they're heading for.
You're heading for the number 1 pick.
Because I told all y'all this, and I've told EM this privately. If I go from the top 6 quarterbacks that can come out, this year it was Burrow and Tua. And remember, EM, when I was on the other platform, when I showed up last October, and remember, you were on there, and remember, everyone else was giving me crap when I said after Tua and Burrow, it's a dip. Remember, I said it's a fall off.
Right.
Well, next year, it's not as bad when you start getting to the 4, 5, 6 guy next year. Next year's very deep at quarterback. So, I mean, and if you're going to go into the cream of the crop for that, you might as well swing for the fences because, let's be honest, it's probably going to be between them and a team like Carolina or something.
See,
Carolina?
They don't even have confidence in developing a quarterback once they draft one here. They don't like
maybe.
Well, I mean, they're in a situation where they try to give organizational control to a guy that they shouldn't have gone to. A guy at the time was, has a long football history, but is really a relic of the past. Tom Coughlin, and they just let him do what he wants. He hires Doug Marrone, who's a good coach, but a little bit of a retread, in my opinion. And they don't appear to have a clear organizational path towards like what they're trying to do, because they consistently trade guys before their rookie deals come up, and guys, when they get to the end of their rookie deals, want out. So it's hard to see how they're not doing anything this year outside of tanking for Trevor.
And I want to address this because you said it in Dolphin 82. Yeah, Carolina, bro. They offensive line.
Redskins too.
They retooled their offensive line, and what's his face? The guy they got from San Diego opted out. Who was it? Who was the offensive line? Was it Okun they got? Who was the guy Carolina got? And he opted out.
It was Okun.
And he opted out. You got Bridgewater coming over, and they brought in Joe Brady, but they also Matt Rule coming from Baylor, and usually college coaches in their first year. I mean, look what Cliff Kingsbury had last year, and all he could get was 5 wins and a tie. So that you go to that defense. That defense has been torn apart, where all they have is Derek Brown and Yetur Gross-Matos. Literally,
they got Brian Burns too, though.
And Brian Burns, who they drafted last year. So you got three, and what does Bridgewater really have? Is this going to be the year that DJ Moore finally lives up to the hype? I don't think so. Right? It's going to be Christian McCaffrey all by himself all over again, and it's going to be
a stats monster this year.
And it's going to be a different defense. It's going to be on defense leaning on two rookies and guys in their second year. Because
Moore had 1,000 yards last year.
Because Luke Kuechly retired too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's gone. Yeah. They're clearly transitioning. The Cam era is over, and they're trying to see what they have in terms of like their younger guys. But I don't think they honestly are trying to aspire for playoffs. They're probably, if they had a down season, they wouldn't hate it. I'll say it like that. They wouldn't hate it if they had a down season, because they just gave Christian McCaffrey all that money, so he's not going anywhere.
And they have, I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars will be they're in a better position to secure that number one pick overall spot. I think. Because I think they have less talent than what.
Because all they have is Josh Allen.
Yeah,
all they have is Josh Allen and Gardner.
That's it.
But they do have
Colin.
They have DJ Chark.
And they do have Colin Johnson from Texas.
All right.
Who they drafted.
What's the over and under on Josh Allen asking for a trade within the next year?
Highly probable.
He's gonna be a stud though.
No, but
I love his game.
I think what's his name actually stepped up and had 1,000 yards for Carolina last.
But they only had 4 touchdowns.
Look, he didn't have a steady quarterback either, and out. I guess.
Okay, but so you're gonna say he had a steady quarterback enough to get 1,100 yards, but he didn't have it to get in the end zone more?
I think they relied too much on McCaffrey once they got there.
Because he's not a Howard guy. He's not a. Well, how much were they really relying if he had 1,175 yards? So how much were they really relying? That whole passing game ran through DJ Moore. So you didn't matter who was back there. It was him. So he better put up. But the thing is, got to get in the end zone. Those are Jarvis Landry stats where you get 1,000, but you get in the end zone 3 or 4 times. But here's the thing. DJ Moore, his game is more comparable to I'm not saying he's Devontae Parker, but he's more comparable to, if you're going to go off Dolphins players, he's more comparable to a Devontae Parker or Preston Williams than he is to a little small slot guy named Jarvis Landry, right? Like he's a boundary guy, go up, get balls, et cetera, et cetera. So he should be even more deadly in the red zone. You know what I mean? Because of his size and his body, right? So that's what I'm talking about. I want to see points on the board. Yo, you got to put numbers on the board to win ball games.
Hey, and they also lost their tight end there.
Olsen?
Yeah. Olsen, yeah. He's in Seattle. He's in Seattle.
I mean, clearly rebuilding. Clearly both teams rebuilding. So
tanking.
Yeah, I mean, interesting to see. I mean,
it's real.
If you're looking for a future quarterback, it's not a bad year to do it.
Hey, let me ask you this. How many of these teams are you looking at going, are you all trying to follow Miami's blueprint now?
What do you mean?
Look at how Jacksonville's trading away the players so that they, get as many picks as they can.
Yeah, but is Jacksonville happy with their general manager and head coach right now? Is a central question.
That's the biggest question. With either of these teams, do they have the infrastructure in place? Do you trust it enough to where they can build? You know what I mean? They can build a successful. They can hit on the majority of these draft picks and build a successful team. That's the biggest question. So, but yeah, it's they're definitely tanking for sure. Like I said, I just want the media to kill them. You know what I mean? Just like they just my God, it seems like every program you turn on, they were talking about the Miami Dolphins tanking last year.
I will say that.
Division. Stephen A was like, I bet you Alabama could beat the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
That on TV.
You know what? It got to the point they were saying we were bad for football. We were hurting the players here.
We're a disgrace to the league. They were calling us.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, stay tuned.
Speaking about like the way it's looking, this linebacker situation's rolling out. It seems like it might be a little bit of a carousel at certain spots this year. You got to believe Micah Parsons is at the top of their draft board going into next year.
Man,
you got to believe it's Penei Sewell or Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really going to come down to what team gets the number one pick, because you can make a legitimate case that Penei Sewell is probably the most talented player coming out. But if a team like Jacksonville or Carolina gets the number one pick and Trevor Lawrence is right there, I mean, you have to make that move.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. If generational talent is there, you have to make that swing for it. And as much as Penei Sewell is probably his generational talent too, we know that, if you don't have a quarterback, you really don't have much of a future.
Yeah, you never select. I don't care how good that tackle is. If you're a quarterback needy team and you've got, a surefire first round top 5 quarterback available, there's no way in the world you pick any other position other than that.
AKA, hold on. Do you mean Matt Ryan over Jay?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Jay Long. That just popped in my head, Reese. Jay Long over Matt Ryan. Absolutely.
Jake Long. You ain't got no one for him to protect.
Only Bill Parker. Oh, Bill. Oh my God. I love Jake Long, and Jake Long, to be fair, was on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Yes.
Yep.
Before
the injuries.
For 3 years, he was the best tackle in football.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad pick. It was just a situation.
But with that being said, how Matt Ryan's career has turned out and the player that he's turned out to be, there's no way in the world you make that same move. You take the quarterback, bro. You take the quarterback and you don't look back.
I mean, if for no other reason, you see the jersey sales. Like, you see the hype, you see the anticipation that, like, bringing a legit quarterback to your franchise brings to the fan base. I mean, we're feeling it right now. It just inspires hope that
I agree.
It's just one of those things. Like, a left tackle, most great teams have them, but they don't really inspire hope in the fan base. As great as Jonathan Ogden was, It was.
That's why for us, next year would be the year to get that tackle.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
The only problem is I don't want that lousy to be up there to get that.
That's why I'm banking on Houston, brother.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they're one injury, knock on wood. I'm not wishing this on anybody, but I'm just saying.
Deshaun or Laramie goes down, it's over.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
And add in the fact, let's go through their top 3 receivers. Brandon Cooks, Kenny Stills, Will Fuller. Are any of those guys going to make it through the season? Now let's go to the back.
I mean,
David Johnson.
All 3 of them.
David Johnson.
All 3 of them could wind up on IR. Bro.
I mean, Brandon Cooks is a concussion away from being retired.
No, you know what's happening? They're 3 injuries away to that receiving core from Deshaun Watson throwing the EM after he gets the call. Because he's in the down forward area.
That's why I was surprised Watson didn't stick it to him and say, I'm going to just call off the season.
I think it's just too much of a competitor to do that. I think he just has a love for the game that he wouldn't do that.
You guys are nuts. They got O'Brien. They'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. Right.
You would have been stuck there.
Here's the thing. Hey, Rhino, right now, Bill O'Brien's calling the Jacksonville Jaguars, seeing what they want for Leonard Fournette.
Can you listen?
That guy, man.
Can you just imagine with the offseason we just had? Can you imagine that scenario unfolding? The Dolphins wind up with like a top 3 pick.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine that?
And they gave us a second as well, right?
Yeah. We have 2 number 2s as well.
Jeez Louise.
Can you imagine that?
Wow. Yes, please.
Yeah, right.
Man.
Yeah, sign me up for that. I'm ready to go.
I'm not wishing any harm. I'm not wishing any harm on anybody, so I'm clear. But damn,
you ain't wishing harm on nobody, but you sure are wishing us some good fortune, though.
It just feels like there's a cloud. Whatever it's going to be, it just seems like there's
I'm telling you,
cloud over there.
I have a feeling. I just have this weird feeling. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I think something is catastrophic is going to happen in terms of injuries, to Tunsil or to Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry. I'm not wishing this on anybody, but I just have this weird feeling, bro.
Hey, EM, I looked at their schedule. Their schedule's not even favorable for them. I looked at the Texas schedule.
But look, if you look at the division they're in, it's highly competitive.
Huge.
You got you got the Colts. You know what I mean?
Rivers.
Exactly. The only break they're gonna get is the Jaguars. You know what I mean? So
and they have Minshew.
They have that's a highly competitive with the Titans. The Titans ain't going nowhere. That defense is not going anywhere. That running game is not going anywhere. So that's a highly competitive division. We might not even need one of them to go down, to be honest with you.
No, it's true.
So just saying.
I'll tell you though, I saw something real interesting in the report.
Down at 4 wins.
4 wins?
4. Wow.
Go ahead, Havoc.
No, I was just saying I saw something real interesting on the report today.
Hold on a second. What were you saying, Havoc?
I saw something real interesting on the report today regarding Mack Hollins. I didn't know he was our emergency snapper. Because this guy, I mean, every day I read his reports, he becomes more of a Renaissance man. He's a wide receiver. He is a long snapper.
Don't say you tried to tell us he was a long snapper, yeah.
But I heard something even bigger. Hollins is the backup head coach.
Listen, it's just another feather in the cap of Mack Hollins. The garlic parmesan prince, the mango habanero maestro, and the lemon pepper poppy Mack Hollins. He
should be ashamed.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey,
you should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, if he helps us, I hope he makes the team. I really do.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, the kid is. Again, I've never. All I said was, is he going to supplant? Is he going to be Devontae Parker? Absolutely not. But I'm saying, if you have a kid with this kind of athleticism as your 4th, 5th, or 6th guy. I mean, bro, what other teams in the NFL have a quarterback that can match up with this guy? I mean, really, at the
read the screen,
we got breaking news, EM.
That's a perfect O'Brien trade right there.
That O'Brien, man. That O'Brien.
Nonsense. Wow.
I hear you just released Leonard Fournette. We want to trade.
Hey, seriously though. Hey, listen. Seriously.
You know what Havoc might have been wrong about? Havoc might have been wrong about Wingstop, but if he gets hurt, it looks like he might have a career as a hairstylist.
Yeah.
So he might be working. He might be working at First Choice Haircuts instead of working at Wingstop.
As long as he doesn't cut a finger off trying to snip somebody's hair.
Ouch.
And you know what? At least if Hollins was working at the hair place, he doesn't have to worry about injuring himself. He'll be in the chair all day. The table's already laid out for him.
Adrian says he looks like Bob Ross.
yeah.
He does.
Don't you
see a bird in there?
Don't you just love this mountain I'm putting in here right now?
No, but hey, I actually like how Hollins made some big catches in practice with his hands.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, there's
2
flashing, bro.
I know he's two
never been under skill level.
catches. He's made 2 of them.
It's never been. It's never been. Hey. Something wrong with the skill level. He just
listen. Listen, everybody in the fan base, the comments, Fins Nation, don't listen to this fool Havoc here. He's been disrespecting this man since day one. He needs to stop. He needs to stop. Don't listen to this foolishness. This is nothing but foolishness coming from Havoc.
Is the long-term plan, right?
He should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself right now.
Come on now. There can only be one lemon pepper poppy. Whether he's catching passes, whether he's long snapping, he has many feathers in his cap.
I hear you, man.
6 wide receiver, backup head coach, backup long snapper,
hairdresser,
backup trainer,
a Renaissance man.
I mean, it's Rosen's job, bro.
Hey, y'all are saying the 6 wide receiver. Who's been outperforming him in camp? Like from is he 6? I would say he's our 4th guy.
Oh, no. It's been Devontae, Preston, Jakeem, Isaiah Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you say definitively that Jakeem has outperformed him? Can you really say that?
Yeah, because he had the first day where he's killing the whole second, the number ones.
You ain't heard from. You ain't heard a damn thing since.
Mack Hollins has made 2 one-handed catches from Tua Tagovailoa, bro. And then number 5 is Malcolm Perry, and then number 6 would be Mack Hollins.
And even with all the videos that the Dolphins are releasing of like Jakeem Grant, I haven't seen him catch the ball clean once. It's always a little bit of a bobble when he brings it down. Once again,
listen.
Not as measurable as his hands.
There was literally one video they released where he did that.
And that's the only one I've seen.
Listen, Jakeem Grant, we haven't heard a damn thing from Jakeem Grant since the 2nd day of practice. They got an APB out on him right now. He's on somebody's milk carton, missing. Not a damn thing, bro. Somebody need to file a missing persons list.
You're lying to yourself if he's not the number 3 right now.
Well, I would say that.
So number 4 would be Isaiah Ford, based on not only performance, but what the coach has said. He has a lead understanding of the playbook, and most of the slot work has been him and Malcolm Perry.
Mm-hmm. I would say,
Mack Hollins is 6, bro. Stop trying to bump him up now, okay?
Well, I can't definitively say it's Malcolm Perry, but I will say Isaiah Ford, absolutely.
I can. Malcolm Perry next to Devontae Parker's probably made the most plays that anyone's thought about.
You think? Okay.
He's been out there almost every day with the highlight.
I'm not gonna. I can't
11-11s, both.
I can't 100% debate that, but
you can't, because our boy Tua's highlight cling on Malcolm Perry. That's all you can't debate.
But if you had to choose between Perry and Hollins, it's your final pick. Who are you taking?
Oh, I'm going with Mack Hollins all day.
Over
What are
Perry?
you talking about? Oh,
Really?
absolutely.
This guy is living on Hollins Hill and can't come down.
Listen.
Right.
Y'all are hitching. You're hitching your wagon. Listen. You are hitching your wagon to almost an undrafted guy who's limited in terms of his long speed.
Almost only counts horseshoes and hand grenades.
And he's giving you 2 weeks of camp compared to a guy that's giving you what? 2
guy
years in the league?
5 years in the table.
2 years on the trainer table in the league. That's what he's
And also, he gives you elite athleticism. Really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's true.
Okay.
It's hard to see that athleticism on the training table.
Every time he shows his athleticism and that explosion.
How are y'all going to sit here and say, Malcolm Perry, come on,
the
man,
massage
stop.
table.
Let's pump the brakes. Let's
You're acting
pump the
like we're
brakes a
saying he's the
little
number
bit.
one. You're acting like we're saying he's the number one.
He ain't better than Mack Hollins. How can you say that?
No one said that. We said he's had a better training camp than Mack Hollins.
No. When I said I would take Hollins over him, y'all started shooting bullets. Y'all started firing away.
The reason why I'm taking Perry on that is because Perry's not coming with a bunch of baggage full of Band-Aids. Mack Hollins, I don't know what I'm getting for the next 3 years. Perry, I'm getting a fresh body in the NFL. That would be the main reason.
Well, I'll say this in regards to what you just said about, durability concerns with Mack Hollins. Somebody needs to get Malcolm Perry a cheeseburger because he is too undersized. Wait until he gets into in-game situations and comes across that. He's going to be playing the slot now.
Well, Hollins can go work at Wingstop and send him some wings.
Well, listen, from what I understand, the Wingstop has filled out his position. Kalen Ballage, the homie, came through. He says, I got some spare time in my hands. I had this medical come up. Didn't work out.
Havoc. Kalen Ballage is doing now, Havoc. Kalen Ballage is showing up that elite athleticism that your boy EM was talking about at the fucking fryer station right now. That's what he's doing.
Hey, save a spot for Davenport there, too.
They were calling up for Mack Hollins. Kalen Ballage picked the phone and was like, hello? What's that? Opportunity.
That's cute. That's really cute.
I can't find a job right now. They found me working up in New York. They sent me back here.
Didn't I say in regards to Kalen Ballage, did not say they would give him an opportunity to midway through training camp? Did I not say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I said
so what happened?
I said it'd be gone by the regular season.
Okay. What happened? Oh, they gave him a look until midway through training camp and he's gone. Okay. So
now, from what I understand, Ballage has a 1.8% chance of being Wingstop Employee of the Month.
But
shout out to him. Mack Hollins, show him the way.
Hey, listen, Malcolm Perry. Listen, I hope this kid does turn out. I hope we have hit on him. But again, this kid is 150 pounds soaking wet, and he's playing in the slot in the NFL. Come on, man. You got Jamal Adams lurking in the middle of that field. Tyrann Mathieu of the world. My God, it's gonna take one hit, and they're gonna fold this kid up, and he will be on IR. So please,
right next to Mack Hollins.
Coming right there, like what happened to you?
I know you. Hey, it's gonna be that Spider-Man meme. It's gonna be that Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other.
You're gonna be saying
listen. You know that's legitimate. I cannot dispute. I cannot 100% debate Mack Hollins' durability concern. I can't. I said that from day one. Just saying, man. When a kid is healthy, he makes plays. I'm just saying.
I will say this. Mack Hollins, for the first time in 2 years, has tape on that's not medical.
That's what's up.
And again, like I said, he's been showing up every single report since camp started in some capacity, making a play here with Tua, with Fitz, with Josh Rosen. I mean, his name. And, just saying, man, the kid's got a lot of ability. And I hope he does make the team, not because I can sit up here and say, God damn it, I told you so. But I told you so. But I think this kid can contribute to this offense, man. I'm telling you. Why can't he be this year's version of Alan Hearns.
You know
what I mean? Similar body type,
and he
similar skill set.
Contribute to our community as well. You know, if he makes the roster, you know, he's gonna open up a Wingstop and Plantation. He's gonna open one on Davie. I mean, the sky's the limit.
That's real cute, Havoc. That's real cute.
And he's still showing elite hair every single day at camp.
Hey, Havoc, no Wingstop.
But
for Davenport too.
But look, Reason. You remember a couple of days. I don't know if you saw. I think you did see it. That tweet that the 3 yards per carry guys put out when they asked them, they took like questions, and somebody asked them about the wide receivers, which ones have shown up other than like Preston and Devontae Parker, and he said, believe it or not, Mack Hollins.
Okay,
just saying.
Stay on the field, homie. I'm with you. To stay on the field, homie. That has been the linchpin of your career.
Exactly.
Is you know the trainer more than the coach.
I'm trying to see him produce on the field, not stand on the sidelines in a cast holding pom-poms for the team, bro.
You know,
young player, 26. He's just 26 years old.
About to turn 27 in a few weeks.
Just 26 years old. That's not old by any stretch, bro.
26 with the body of a 34-year-old.
Yeah, that's real cute. That's real cute.
2026 with the legs, Alex Smith. Stop it.
This is gonna be rough the next few days, though. Next couple weeks, man. Looks like we're not gonna be getting much news.
No. Reason we were talking about that privately, man. It's gonna be. Oh my God, bro! It's a total blackout, man. Other than our bus ticket show Saturday, which you do not want to miss.
Bus ticket show, yes.
We got Wednesday. We're gonna have a show. We have an idea. We'll be dropping for that. We'll probably have updates, and we'll be dropping that show Wednesday. But I've confirmed with him. Now I'm just trying to set the time. But I have confirmed with Josh Tolentino of The Athletic, who covers the Dolphins. He'll be coming on Phinside the NFL. I'm going to be aiming for Friday, but we're just hashing out a time right now. But I have confirmed that he'll be coming on sooner rather than later. So we'll have a guy, you know, he's been there at every day of training camp. So we'll have him on here and we'll pick his brains, because I've sat in on all the Zoom sessions, and he's one of the few with Omar Kelly, Cameron Wolf, Hal Habib, and those guys that's allowed to ask questions. So he's got pretty good access. So Josh Tolentino from The Athletic will be coming on fairly soon. We'll keep everyone updated about that. So we'll be picking his brain about what he's been seeing.
Okay.
Hopefully he can provide a little more insight. Hopefully he can provide a little more insight on the homie.
It's funny because it turns out we actually have to print out another bus ticket for Kalen Ballage now.
Get two.
Yeah, we're charging him for this one though.
Yeah, right. The bus dropped him off in New York. He ran back to the bus. He's like, "Y'all are round trip."
Yeah.
I'm only gonna be here for a couple hours.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, he probably gave up running halfway to the bus because he failed his physical.
Well, they said it was his hamstring, so I doubt he was running anywhere.
What's he pulling his hamstring on? What is he doing to pull his hamstring? Is he running up the stairs to answer the door of the pizza man walking there?
Reason wasn't hamstring. Hamstrings.
Oh.
I think it was more than one. I mean, it's like, wow.
He saw.
Well, he did limp off the field that day. They said for a little
yeah.
You know what? Maybe
Maybe
the problem is Kalen Ballage only has 1.8 hamstrings. Pass the physical. He has 1.8 hamstrings.
Man. That would be a problem.
No,
y'all need to stop, man.
He saw Bobby McCain approaching him in a corridor, so he, panicked.
I can't get over that. Bobby McCain.
Definitely. Once McCain blew him up,
it was over.
And I know Flores was like, "God damn, what am I thinking? Oh my God, what am I thinking?" No, look, Kalen. All right, man, just go get you some Gatorade.
Yo,
he ain't seen the field since.
Gatorade. You're not wasting a good stuff on that kid, bro.
when that happened, Flores went on Madden and traded Ballage. He was like, I can't deal with this.
No.
He went on Madden and saw what he could get.
He put him on the bike.
Hey, isn't it like a 40-pound difference?
Greer was probably standing next to him, and Flo was like, "What the hell were you thinking?" Like, damn, bro.
Gates won one of
Yeah.
them.
All right, so we got about 10 minutes to 2 hours here. Wanted to cap it off at an hour and a half. We've already gone over. So usually because final thoughts take forever, looking at you, Todd. Let's go. I'm joking, bro. I'm joking. Okay, so we'll go through. I'll start off with Rhino, and I'll work our way down to Havoc. Then we'll come back to Rhino. We'll go through final thoughts, guys.
I just hope somehow, some way we get more news than we're going to be expecting. But I guess we'll just have to be patient and wait for 2 Thursdays from now for the starting lineup and go from there. And fins up.
Yeah, Saturday is going to be full of news for sure with cuts across the league. And there could be news after the days because, like I've said, and EM will account for this. I've been saying hold off on spending money to see who gets cut because you may be able to, especially even with that safety position, if they want, you could be able to fill gaps with cheap guys. Right. Pyromancer, what's good, buddy?
What's good? Well, I just want to share my thoughts on the Leonard Fournette thing. I don't think we should pick him up. I think we should just see what we have with Gaskins and Laird. I really want to see what Gaskins has to show. So I just want to just stick with those two for now. You don't really need them.
I agree with when I talk to you privately. Like, as you guys know, right? I've been on the Myles Gaskin train heading into this offseason, basically saying he's going to be the guy that forces Ballage out of town, and lo and behold, here we sit. Ballage was forced out of town, but he came back like a cancer, like cancer out of remission. So I'm interested to see with Gaskin is too. You know what? But if you add Fournette to it, let's be honest with ourselves. Do we really think the whole running back room is going to stay healthy throughout the whole year? So you know what? And Laird, right now, he's obviously nursing the shoulder thing because they keep mentioning it. My whole thing with Laird is, you know what? If getting a guy like Fournette bumps Gaskin to your number 4, I'm fine with that because I think Gaskin's going to end up getting reps anyways because I don't think they're all going to be able to stay durable. So
that's with the COVID. So you have a point.
And you know what? Again, 4.4 million when we have 26 million, and it's only 1 year. I'll roll with it, and we probably aren't bringing him back next year. When you know what? Especially if we're going to turn to Tua. Me and EM have highlighted it many times. That running game is going to be even more vital to our success. So adding a guy like Fournette can only help a kid like Tua's development if he eventually takes over the reins. So that's where I'm at with Fournette. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree
with that.
Yeah. I agree.
I would say I'll just for me, I just look forward to looking at the end of the week and just being able to break down a week's worth of scrimmages after, just a day or two doesn't really tell you much. So at a week or so, and also we'll see roster wise. I mean, you got big roster cuts coming up too. So I look forward at the end of the week to really get a better idea of who's doing what with this roster and fins up.
Todd, any final thoughts?
Hey, I wouldn't mind us Fournette. He had 72 catches too last year, so he can catch out the maximum too, which helps out a young quarterback. But this is going to be important for these next 2 weeks, and not hearing anything and with how slow it's going to go. So I just hope we make it through that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Reason. I mean, if we, I'd be excited if we went that Leonard Fournette route. I mean, this is a highly productive player coming off the season he had last year. But, if they want to just, go with what we have, and who knows, Myles Gaskins might turn out to be, a diamond in the rough for us, a very good player. So I'm comfortable with either scenario, but I'm looking forward to Saturday. You know what I mean? Cut downs and see how the roster is shaping up, because I'm sure they're not going to be releasing any information in terms of like starters or whatnot, but we can pretty much, based off cuts, how the roster is going to shape and what it's going to look like this weekend. We can pretty much figure out, get a better assessment in terms of like starters or whatnot. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. I got plenty of ink. I hope you keep that. You got the bus all gassed up, and we're looking forward to Saturday. And it's gonna be hard though the next couple weeks till next Thursday. It's gonna be extremely difficult because the NFL for as a whole have gone 0 dark 30. So, but I will get through it. But man, football is upon us. Man, it's here. So all day, every day, you know what it is.
Yeah, and guys, I know we're down a little bit to only around like 100 because everyone saw that the show was ending. But smash that like button. It's going to help as much as it can. I got a couple things coming up this week. My article should be handed in and submitted fully to the Brawl Network. Tomorrow night I'll be on the Brawl Network for episode 3 of the Gridiron Brawl. I got a little bit of an exciting personal thing going on this Friday for Dolphins Brawl. I'll be sitting down and interviewing with the homie David Gregg. We'll be interviewing former scout, agent, and linebacker Bridges Brawl. So y'all are going to want to stay tuned for that one. That should be pretty good. He actually
That's what's up.
he played for the Miami Dolphins as a linebacker at one point. So should be pretty interesting little conversation going on there. And again, like I said, Josh Tolentino from The Athletic will be coming on the show hopefully this week. We have confirmed him, just hashing out the day and time. So we'll be back Wednesday night, it looks like, guys. We'll have a pretty good we should have a pretty good show for you guys. So stay tuned. Hope you all stay happy, healthy, and safe. And we'll